Hello, YouTubers out there. People are on Tumblr. This is this is Rock Pony Z Reviews. I am new to YouTube and Tumblr, and if you want to follow me, it's Rock Pony Z Reviews with a Z. Okay, so I thought I would take this first video to introduce myself and talk about and open up with a review of the game. And the best game I could think of to review was Dragon Age. In this video, I will be talking about the Dragon Age games, Origins to Awakening, and I'll be talking about how they are as games, with the gameplay, the characters, the general story. The general story of them, how they are as games, how they are with the fans. Also, at the end of this video, I'll be talking briefly about Mass Effect 4, which I'm very excited about. Sorry to do that. I'm just which I'm very excited about. Okay, so let's kick things off here. Let's start with Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins obviously is the game which kicked off the series. In Dragon Age Origins, you play as the Warden, the Grey Warden, and you are well, you start off as an elf, a dwarf, or whatever, and then your backstory. What happens in your backstory leads you to being recruited by Duncan, who is a Grey Warden, and he recruits you, and you're basically sworn to defend the land against the Blight. It's your character's duty to do this. It's your character's duty to do this. Along the way, you meet your companions, Alistair, Liliana, Morrigan, etc. Now, for characters, I would say the characters are really good in this game. They're not boring, at all. Or I wouldn't say they are. Morrigan's pretty. She's quite a bitch of a character. Like, I'm quite neutral with her, whether to like. I don't know whether to like her or hate her sometimes, but overall she's a good character, and I think not knowing whether to like or hate her adds to her character very well. Alistair, obviously, he's got quite a bit of likability, though I suppose like all the characters, he does have his downsides. Like when you're romancing him, he's a bit. I suppose you could say he's a bit clingy. It depends how you look at it. The more you talk to him to romance him. Liliana is once again good character, interesting. Yeah, she's an interesting character, especially when you get more into her backstory, how she came to be in Lovering, which is where one of the first places the Darkspawn attack. She's got a pretty interesting backstory working for her too. Yeah, she's got a pretty interesting backstory, which adds to her character. Also, to romance, she's pretty adorable. So all these characters are great. Sten, on the other hand, I do like Sten, but at the same time I don't like him. He can get really annoying. I've also found the Canary to be annoying because of how, just Dragon Age 2 mainly, it serves that reason. But Sten as an individual, I find he likes to. The more you talk to him, the better he gets. But along the course of the game, throughout the course of the game, he likes to question your warden on what he or she does. He he likes to. Well, he doesn't like it. He feels the need to. just question what she does, question if he or she's a warrior or not. Yeah, basically he's a bit of a douche at first, I think, but the more you talk to him, the better it gets. But anyway, yeah. So those are some of the characters. Okay. Gameplay in the story. Gameplay is the gameplay is a bit stiff because it was a game designed for PC. So from what I hear, it was a game designed for PC, and due to that, because of that, it's like a one hit at a time kind of thing, unless dependent on what weapons say you have, and then it could be 2 hits, maybe 3 hits if you've got a shield, because there's moves where you can attack with a shield and hit multiple times, which are quite fun. I mean, that's why I find I enjoy playing as a warrior for that purpose. Like, I don't like going with the two-handed axe or two-handed great sword a lot of time. I like that sword and shield because the shield is so handy. Like, it becomes quite a handy weapon. So what else? Sorry. We have. Okay. Yeah. So the combat system is a bit stiff because it was a game designed for PC. But on the other hand, when you look at the moves you can get and how they work, they are pretty impressive. Like with the shield, beating the crap out of your enemies with shields. It's pretty fun. Now, the story of the game, obviously, I've covered a bit about this. The story of Dragon Age Origins, I find, one of its best aspect, because the story allows you access to so many places which you need to go to build up your army of men, dwarves, and elves, possibly werewolves, depending on what choices you make. Choices which will affect. Along the course of the games, your character will make choices which will affect said character individually. It will affect the world as a whole. It may even affect your party members depending on what you do, and that goes throughout. Just so new players know. Off topic now. Okay, yeah. So the story overall is the best aspect, I think, because it grants you access to so many places which you need to go to build up your army and defeat the Darkspawn. And it's a great story, all leading up to the big fight at the end with the Archdemon. Which I will say this: as an RPG player, I am not that good. I'm currently trying to complete it on normal, and my god, it is ragey for me, because I'm kind of crappy at RPGs, in the way that I've been on the easiest mode for a while now. I've been on the easiest modes of them for a while now, so I've had it too easy basically. So now I'm trying on hard modes. I'm struggling, but anyway, yeah. So the story is its best aspect. Sorry, I don't want you to hear about my personal gaming problems. I'm just here to review these, to give you a general walkthrough of these games. My apologies. Okay, so Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 takes place. I suppose you could say it's. Well, yeah, it is. It's a sequel to Dragon Age Origins, and you play as a character called Hawk, who is running who has had to escape Lovering and is running, is on the run with his or her family. Your dangerous travels end up leading you to a city called Kirkwall. Sorry. 1 minute. Yes.
I'll go in 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'll go lock you in.
Okay.
chances are I won't come back into this. What, 10 o'clock-ish?
Right. Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Thanks, son.
All right. I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm sidetracked now. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Dragon Age 2. So you Hawk. So yeah. The character's dangerous travels leads her to a city called Kirkwall, where she where the bulk of the story takes place. Now the story in Dragon Age 2, because of how the game is designed, the story isn't as it's not the story, it's more the surroundings. Your surroundings aren't as impressive. You're stuck to this one city as you go through the years, building up your reputation, building up your current standing, and eventually building up to being the champion of Kirkwall. And obviously, a lot along the way, like on Dragon Age Origins, making decisions which impact the world, which impact the world, which impact your character as an individual. This is something I forgot to mention about Dragon Age Origins. Obviously, speech options, so you can multiple speech options, so you can choose how your Hawk is, whether they're sarcastic but jolly, whether they're just generally cold, whether they're quite a happy individual. It's your choice, depending on the speech options you choose. Same thing with Dragon Age Origins. So you're restricted to this one city, which I find a bit of I find is a downer, but when you look at the content of the game, it's not too big of a deal for me anyway. The combat system is much improved. It's a beautiful combat system. It's so smooth, and yeah, it's so much smoother. And well, I think as a rogue, you can personally, I find as a rogue you can especially see the difference in the combat system, because it's a lot easier to jump forward and slash your enemies multiple times. Obviously, you've got the individual moves, moves and skills where it's like a one hit, two hit maybe, but them by themselves are a lot smoother. Characters, I'd say characters for Dragon Age 2 are quite... in some ways I prefer the characters in Dragon Age 2. There's Isabella, personal favourite, especially to romance. There's Anders, who... he's a bit of a mopey son of a bitch, in all honesty. He's better in Dragon Age Awakening, which is a DLC game in between. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Anders myself, although he is interesting to romance. Which you have to be actually no, you can be a female or a male character for it, which is fun. Bisexual romances are always fun, especially on a Bioware game. Varric is fun as a character. He really you can't romance him, which people wanted to do quite. But he's quite a fun character. He's a dwarf, smooth talking, has a lot of tales to tell. He's a fun character to talk to. Plus, he's a big help to Hawk while she's in Lovering, while she's building up her reputation. Yeah, while she's building up her reputation, and basically trying to move up in the city. Obviously, whilst trying to keep her sister safe, who's got to mention this, but there's this thing in Dragon Age of like the Templars, the mages, but magic being feared, so they're in the Mage Tower, which There's the mage tower, which the mages are held up in, but any mage outside the tower is any mage outside the tower or the outside of the Chantry's control is what they call an apostate, which is it's basically, well, I suppose in their eyes, a rogue mage, one who they feel that they must capture, because magic's widely feared, especially because of blood magic, which is basically magic. You could call it magic. It's basically magic but blood. You use your blood to well, it's when mages use the blood offensively. So just to get that bit of lore out there to any new players. On that subject of blood magic, you have Meryl, of course. Meryl is she uses a bit of blood magic herself, which you can choose to either not dislike or be cool with or be neutral with. I find it fun with Meryl personally to be kind of angry with her and cold sometimes, but at the same time, because I really like Meryl as a character, I think she's really adorable. So at the same time, I find it a bit hard to do it. I find it a bit mean to do it. As for romancing, Meryl's good for romancing. Meryl's an elf, by the way, for any players who are unfamiliar. She appears in Origins, but she's not as good in Origins. Sorry, itchy leg. Not as good, but she's not as good in Origins. Right. So overall, the story. So overall, with Dragon Age 2, the story, is it's more confined. Because of the story, you're more confined as to where you can go. But it's such a good game for its combat system, its characters, its bosses. I forgot to mention bosses in detail with the Arashok, who's the leader of the Qunari. The elements to it basically make the other elements to it make it a really good game. The other elements to it, apart from the fact that you're in this one city, but that in itself is a good thing too, because of how the game's designed. I mean, you can't exactly build up your repetition and your stance. You can't exactly build up your strength and loathing if you're not going to. If you leave and are never heard of again. Obviously, you got into the deep roads that leads you to the I think that fast forwards after that, and you've been in Lothing for 4 years. So yeah, that's Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Inquisition. Now this is great. Dragon Age Inquisition will obviously be the most recent game in the trilogy, in the series. I suppose you could say trilogy, but if you include, you could say trilogy if you don't include Awakening, but I'd include Awakening, so it's basically a series. Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm sketchy on the details of this game, apart from, even from what I've heard, I don't know much about the story. I know of the characters. There's Morrigan, she may not be a party member. She may be an antagonist, which would be fun for the character. Cassandra Pentagos. You see Cassandra in the second game. Good, she's a good character, and plus she's in the movie Dragon Age. I'd have to get back to you on that with the movie because I forget the title. Sorry. They have Liliana's back. I know that much. Yeah, Liliana's back. The dragon design for like the boss fights. I'm assuming there'll be a boss fight with a dragon, because those are always fun. As the first game will show, not with the Archdemon, but a fight before that, which is pretty fun. Which I'll let you new players play and find that out. I've heard a bit about the classes. The classes, Templar, a class called Tempest. I believe it's the class called Tempest, which I know nothing about, to be honest. Obviously, you have standard classes. You have your rogues, rangers. I've heard a bit about the classes. I think mostly it's what we had in the other games, but with some added, like yeah, the necromancer's been added, which sounds really fun. I mean, raising the dead to fight for you sounds like a blast. I think it sounds really fun to be able to do that. And I know of the world. I know of what the world's going to be like. It's going to be a very widespread world. You can go, I assume, wherever you want. If there's, with Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, if there was a fight, if you bumped into some spiders, some giant spiders, or some thieves along the way, you had to fight them. Whereas with Dragon Age Inquisition, you can just walk past them. You can walk past the fight if you want. You can choose to do whatever quest you want. It offers players a lot of freedom. Plus, obviously, the combat system looks so beautiful, even more beautiful than Dragon Age 2. I find with Dragon Age 2, they discovered how to make a smooth combat system. So with Dragon Age Inquisition, they were like, okay, let's take this to a new level. Because from what I've seen of the gameplay, it does look like it's on a completely new level of combat system. It looks so good. Oh yeah, as characters, Varric's back for people, because just to say, because I know there's a lot of people are a fan of Varric. I know I am, and there's talk about making him romanceable. Personally, I'd want to romance Cassandra, but I heard from a friend that she may have taken a vow of chastity, so maybe not. So yeah, that concludes my my talk through of the Dragon Age games. I was going to talk about Mass Effect 4, but I think what I'll do is I'll wait until I know more on that. Then I'll talk about the Mass Effect games from Mass Effect 1 all the way to recent. So yeah, that concludes my first review. This concludes my first review. You can follow me on Tumblr, RockPonyZ Reviews. I will also be doing, because I am a brony, some My Little Pony video guides. So not video guides, episode guides. Episode guides and reviews from season 1 to 4. There's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff basically coming up on this channel, which I'm going to do. So yeah, same name on YouTube, RockPonyZ Reviews. Follow me on Tumblr, same name, RockPonyZ Reviews with a Z at the end, a Z. So yeah, this is it for my first review, and thank you for watching. Thank you.